Great and powerful Oracle, we meet at last. I suppose you've been expecting me, right? The all-knowing Oracle is never surprised. How can she be? She knows everything. But if that's true, then why is she here? If she knew I was coming, why wouldn't she leave? Maybe you knew I was going to do that. Maybe you didn't. If you did, that means you baked those cookies and set that plate right there, deliberately, purposefully. Which means that you're sitting there also deliberately, purposefully.
What did you do with Santi?
Cookies need love, like everything does.
You are a bastard.
You would know, Mom.
Do what you're here to do.
Yes, ma'am.
What it do out there? What it do, my papa? Hey, you. Okay. I know I be on some real kind of different, creative type of shit. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, we have a lot of things we got to address, man. And it's simply about getting up out of those paradigms, those paradoxes, those boxes. You know, if you pay attention to a lot of our wise brothers and wise sisters, and we always speak on removing ourselves from the box or thinking outside of the box. Okay? Now, ask yourself, if it is a box and we need to think outside of that box, then what is inside of the box, first of all, that we need to stop thinking about? Well, everything that you have, your history, your books and Bibles, your religious texts, everything they told you about you, everything they told you about what's out there, you know, brackets, you know, what they say, check the etymology, it's in a bracket, but the bracket all the time becomes a box. Everything that's in that box, what could possibly be in that box? And why must we think outside of the box in order to become what we need to become? You know, I was looking up on one of my things, right? I had uploaded this video, and the video, I'm not sure which one it was. Let me see. It says, "Step in knowing that you are God." That was the title. All right? That was the title of my video. Well, when I uploaded it, I was listening to this one chick. I think her name was... I'm not sure, so I won't say. But it was one sister that's on a God conscious level. All right? And she was saying, when you upload your videos, make sure you look at where you're being placed at and things of this nature, because this also has a reality all within itself. You okay? Nevertheless, when I uploaded that video stating that step in knowing that you are God, well, it put me right up under. The first one that was there was a European white woman who was an evangelist, or who is so-called evangelist, and she said God shows up when you get yourself out the way. You know, God shows up when you remove yourself. You know, that's all it is. Titles, self, ego. You know, move that out the way, and the only thing that remains is Allah Jehovah, well, Allah Jehovah, Aman Ra, whoever you want to call it. But don't use those titles, man. You know, we are. Simple. We are. We've always been. Nevertheless, and a lot of times, a lot of people don't have, first of all, I shouldn't have to go, well, I'm not doing anything outside of what I choose. Nevertheless, God conscious, we don't watch TV. We don't listen to radio. We don't do that shit. So no matter what the brother or the woman or the lady or the God or the goddess is speaking of, we need to just listen to it. What else you got to do, man? You know, what else is you doing? You know, you're trying to raise frequency. A lot of people thinking that, you know, they don't need, wait, first of all, to raise your frequency. No, matter of fact, let me explain something why it's important that you raise your own damn frequency. And you don't wait around for things like Issa, Brother Justice Jesus, to come up out the sky and raise it for you. You don't wait around to the sun or whatever does something to you. You know, you raise your frequency here. Example, man. Everybody that know anything about, well, let's go back before that. Let's go back a little bit to when the TVs was all analog, right? TV was all analog. It was on a certain frequency. Now they had to change that frequency, right? They had to change that frequency. Why they change the frequency? They say, we're going to go into digital, you know? And then when you got the digital, then you had to pay some certain amount for HD or whatever. But they changed the frequency of the regular analog. Now, why did they do that? Why did they do that? Maybe because the frequency of the earth rising would have knocked their shit out anyway. You know? Would have knocked their shit out anyway because the magnetism in the earth as it rises will pull away some certain shit. Now, listen to this. A few years later, anybody that had a police scanner, okay, I had, all right, don't know why, I just wanted it, I utilized it, you know, for a minute or two. Nevertheless, I noticed though when I got the mug, I programmed the channels in there and everything, you know, and I was only getting a few of them and some wasn't coming in. So I inquired, why was this happening? And they said, and I found out through, you know, tracking it down that all the frequencies changed. They upgraded their own damn frequency because they too knew that the frequencies they was upon was finna be obliterated. You heard? Now, how do you raise your frequency? Your frequency must be raised. You must raise your frequency. I know we are the earth. So we are indirectly raising our frequency because we are a part of this earth. We are this. Okay. They speak about the frequency. When this certain frequency hit the planet, it needs to go straight through you. The Kundalini needs to rise without obstruction, without blockage. Okay? Think about this. Frequency is something that is done in order to measure frequency or to look at frequency. Frequency is no more than how frequently you do something. You know? If the frequency going like this is a high frequency. If the frequency is going like this, it's a low frequency. All right? So, you know, time in between the time span in between the frequency of what you're doing. So, to get a high frequency, you must be moving. You must be continuously moving that it dips and it goes up and it dips and it goes up in order to keep your frequency high. Now, some people might say, okay, yeah, that's so simple. But if the radio stations change their frequency today, then that would let you know that it has already advanced to a level where you need to stop the bullshit. All right, for real. All right, you know. Remember when energy center called the Bermuda Triangle? When planes or anything electric flies over it, it will have a magnetic complication, right? Magnetic turbulence, and it wouldn't work, right? Okay. So why do you think the frequency of the earth is rising? Why do you think that they changed the frequency of the TV, changed it from analog to digital? Why do you think all police stations, fire stations, hospitals, school districts, school corporations, and college frequencies and all this type of stuff had to change from that frequency? Because if they didn't, it'd been knocked out. Just like the power from the Bermuda Triangle, or going over any high, or alien, you know what I mean? Whatever they call it, alien, when the alien appears, it'll knock out frequency and shit. Well, see, that already allowed, and that is already happening, you know? But not to no alien factor. It's just that the conscious and awareness, okay, the consciousness and the awareness that we have on this planet is raising the frequency. See, they say the earth is raising a frequency. But if it raises frequency, that means it's leaving a lot of these codes and energy signatures the fuck where they're at, right? And the people who on the TV, communication centers, right? They knew that, or they were told to be aware of that, and they need to alter or change and raise their frequency up to a higher frequency, right? Okay. Now, what are you doing to change and raise your frequency? You must raise your frequency. You must raise your frequency. Or you must clear the blocks. So when that high frequency hits your ass, you can understand what's happening. You know? See, I perceive that the so-called chakras, the system of the chakras, everybody want to say the chakra is outside of you. You know, it's in the back of you. It's not in your body. Well, why would you tell me such a damn thing? Why? Why would somebody say that? Because they want you to still conceive your energy outside of your ass. They want you to still conceive something outside of you. And just by that right there, you know, just by accepting that right there, you might be on the road to damnation or something. I don't know. Nothing is, my heart, liver, my pineal gland is in here, right? But the pineal chakra is outside. That's the projected vortex that might be cast outside, but the chakra system cannot be outside of your ass. It's animated from within your ass, okay? These little slips can prove to be monumental mistakes, right? Mistakes can easily be turned to a positive by just correcting it. Now, check this out. Remember Neo, when he was sitting up in that one place, right? Talking to the architect. When the architect was throwing all this type of stuff at him, right? You got to remember, you know, it's all about self. When you look at anything, it's telling you self-technology. You're not looking at a movie. You got to see the self-technology within what you perceive, and then accept it in that format. Place it within you. What are they telling you about you? This is, remember, a projector let's just look at a regular projector. Nothing is in it until something is put on it in order to project it, right? It casts out white light until you put dark carbon-based transparencies upon that projector. Then and only then do you see anything. All right? Then and only then do you see anything. Nevertheless, Neo, when he was in the architectural room or whatever, you know, and he was talking to him, it boiled down to him conceiving that it was about choice, making a choice, making a decision. Now see, that's why all of us trying to make a decision, making a choice by what they have already placed in this box. All the history, all the knowledge, all the books, all the temples, all the churches, you know, all the hoodoo and voodoo and all that. You know, you can go back to far back in, what is that, India? And they had they didn't have a casting system until a certain group of people showed up over there and took it over. They had black at the top and white at the bottom. Just like in karate today. You start off with the white belt. You advance all the way through all the colors till you get to the black belt. But a group of people came in there and flipped the whole thing and made a caste system and flipped it upside down. And flipped it upside down. You heard me? They did the self-technology that they observed by understanding through their, you know, technology how the eye or the first eye flips stuff upside down automatically. Nevertheless, they flipped the whole deal. So anyway, we're still in this box. So Neo is like, it's choice, making a decision in this box. Remember, Jack in the Box, you wind it up, and he pops out the damn box. Nevertheless, you still in the damn box, right? Trying to make a choice. Trying to make a choice. Through all this shit that they perceive. But all the time, you know that that's not using your free will. When you go to, what is that, that shoe place, you know, where you go to buy gym shoes and shit. What's the name of the place? Foot Locker, right? When you go to Foot Locker, you see those Nikes, you see those Air Jordan, you see those Adidas, you see those Pumas, you see those that and this, right? And you make a choice and a decision about what this place, this corporation, this fictitious entity put out for you to choose from. And you go and try them on and you say, it fits good, I like it. What you like it, ma? Or you like it, baby? Or you like this and you like that? How it look? You know what I mean? You made a choice by what the hell they put out. Now, switch that. You make a choice by what the religions has saturated into certain boxes and compartments. And you make a choice. See, Neo is like, it's about choice. It's about choice. Okay? So everybody thinks it's about choice. Okay? But you also know, anyone who understands choice and free will means, see, you think they got 19 different shoes out there, you got to pick from the 19. You don't have to choose to pick any of them motherfuckers. You don't even have to choose to wear shoes. Okay? That's free will. That is free will. That's outside the box. You heard? That's outside the box. People continue to try to make a choice. Okay, I was a Christian, now I'm a Muslim. Really? Submitting to Allah. Okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. They're making choices still inside the box. The box is everything that he laid out in front of your eyes with backdoor programs in them. Okay, backdoor programs, you know. Backdoor programs to run your ass up. Okay, for real, key maker. You know what I'm saying? Piggybacking viruses. You know, you be looking at TV and getting all this shit, You know, for those that watch regular TV, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to worry about a chip or an implant because they're already implanting the motherfucking chip technology information in your head without the goddamn chip. The computer, the TV, rather, not the computer, but the TV is the damn chip. It is the damn implant. Because it's implanting motherfucking subliminal suggestions in your subconscious and it manifests in your conscious. Why they need a chip? They told you about a chip that don't exist, but they still implanting your ass from the shit that you watching on TV, Neo. But nevertheless, listen, Neo kept saying it was about choice, but that proved to be wrong as soon as he went to go see the Oracle, right? He said it's choice. The architect didn't say nothing about it. He didn't correct him or nothing. He just left him right where he was. And matter of fact, he told him, he said, you can go this way or that way, motherfucker. You can go this way that leads to the one, and you can go this way to go back and save Trinity's ass. He turned immediately to go save Trinity. Right? I heard Noble Drew Ali, not heard, but I did hear him state that it does a wise man no good to harm himself over a fool. It does a wise man no good to get himself or place himself in harm's way over a fool. I'm not saying Trinity was a fool, but just keep that in mind, all right? So the architect, remember, this architect, really, it's a part of you, but keep it in the movie mode. The architect gave him a choice. He said you can go these ways. All right? He chose to go this way. Choice. Okay. Now check this out. But when Neo went to go talk to the Oracle, he was sitting there and he said, so it's about choice to the Oracle. Oracle said, no, you've already made the choice. You are here to find out why you made the choice. Why? Why did you make the choice? You've already made the choice. You're here to find out why. Now, I found that kind of interesting. Okay? Because if you're thinking out this box, why are you making a choice any motherfucking way? The people who make choices inside this box don't understand that their ass is in a box. All the time they say, think outside the box. So you want to take a structure that's entitled Islam, okay? Or take a structure entitled Christianity, a box. You know what I'm saying? Christianity. Source energy trapped. Can't move, can't get out, you know, and you want to take that and build up on the church of like the church of Tupac or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a person out there that's doing that. It's the church of Tupac. I ain't got nothing against that. You know, it's this white dude saying that he was, you know, you gotta check him out. I think it's called directly the Church of Tupac. But nevertheless, you're building this out of a box. You're not outside the box yet. To utilize their sorcery, which is actually, I don't know what to call it. Nevertheless, you're choosing things inside this box. The box need to be crushed. You know what I'm saying? The box need to be crushed. Period. You know? Period. You have enough of that shit that in that box to rise up out of that box and don't return to that box. You know? You got to fill in some blanks right here, all right? I just want to push some certain things to keep in mind. Keep in mind, you know? As long as you're inside that box and you're talking about coming out of their doctrines, you haven't left that box. As long as you say you are a Naga, okay? As long as you say you are Islam, as long as you say you are this and you are that, you're not outside that box. You straight in it. You all in, Jack. You heard? You all in. Don't even know it. what do you say? What that song say? And didn't even know it. You know? Now, the command of know thyself is powerful. Know thyself. And let's put another word in there. Know for thyself. Know for thyself. In order for you to know for thyself, you will need study. To know for thyself that shit is in that box. And to know throughout the history and the time span that it never done shit for you. Leave it alone. Crush it. Crush it. Crush it. You know? Don't step in the box. Don't go inside the box, man. You know? Those are sales. Now check this out. Let's keep on moving on this movie, The Matrix. When he was in that egg-like thing, you know, lined up with a lot of other people that was in these bubbles, that had these things hooked up to them, you know what I'm saying? These fields of humans and all this type of stuff, and bubbles, and in this liquid, like they was in a womb, right? You know, covered like they was in a placenta, plant net, you know? And when he got out, he looked around and he seen all these other people and he still had shit attached to him, right? Well, see, these are plugs that was plugging him to sustain him and maintain him while he was within the matrix, right? And they unplugged all these things. All these plugs was unplugged from him, and he shot down through this little, you know, I guess a hole, the rabbit hole or whatever. But nevertheless, he was unplugged at that point. Now the plugs that's running into him suggest all the shit that the Matrix box was shooting into his ass. And you know they had plugs in the back of your head, plugs on your chest, plugs in your, all into the eyes. You know, these are two eyes too, for real, for real. And you got eyes here and eyes here. You got, anyway. All of them was unplugged. Everything. Let's just say this one was a religious plug. Well, they didn't have one in the front of their head. They had it right here or whatever. Religious or spiritual plug, unplugged. You know, on the left side you had a number. It might have been 7. I don't know. It might have been 3. Might have been 5. I don't know. But on the right side, remember, the left and the right is extensions of your left and right brain, which is opposite of each other, right? Boom. Unplugged all that shit. Let's just say that was education, history, motherfucking health, you know, whatever. You know, name those plugs. Put everything in that box into a plug that was plugged up in him, but they all were unplugged. He couldn't have shit. Empty your cup. Pour out what's in your cup and let me fill it up. You gonna fill it up, okay? Because you're gonna know self. Know thyself. All right. So when he unplugged all that shit, everything that the box, everything that the Matrix gave him, even about his self. See, the self shit was the key that kept his ass there. You know, kept him working. Kept him standing in front of his boss at the desk while the boss says, you know, in order for you to keep a job here, you got to be on time. You got to be behind your desk and all this type of shit. He's, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, yes. Yes, man. Yeah. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? And he's looking out the window and he see the people on the skyscraper. And they like, what? Shit, maybe 20 stories up or some shit. And they out there washing windows. You know what I'm saying? Inside this box, washing windows on a scalpel. You know? Nevertheless, all these plugs was unplugged. So who think they sliding up out the Matrix still with a plug on their ass called Islam? Who think they sliding out the Matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called Christianity? Who think they sliding out the matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called Hebrew Israelite? Who think they slipping out the matrix with a plug connected in their ass called Anunnaki? Who think they slipping out the matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called Yoruba? Who think they slipping out the matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called Naga? Who think they slipping out the matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called Ifa? Who think they slipping out the matrix with a plug stuck in their ass called whatever? Unplug, man. Unplug. You can't bring that shit with you. You can't keep that shit here. If you're going to the next level, what? Listen to it. The next level. You know, another gear. The next level. Next level means you have left all that shit alone. Just like when they have changed their frequency from the TV, about the TV, they changed that. They left all that shit alone. Everything that was on that level was left there. They got out of that box. The frequency that was animated to listen to the police, you might have thought it was an arbitrary move to keep everything, you know, quiet. You know, see how things work? No, it wasn't to keep things quiet. They could have just jammed the signal and split the signal into 14 channels, you know what I'm saying, where you can only see a little bit of it, and you would have, you know what I mean? That's what they do, split the channels, you know. But nevertheless, don't think you leaving the matrix. Don't think you unplugged if you still got a plug stuck in your ass called anything. God steps in when you remove yourself out the way. Remove yourself out the way. God steps in when you remove that shit out the way. Then you, God. You have that knowledge. You've been plugged up to that shit. I've been plugged up to that shit for a long time. 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. You know? And I unplug all that shit. Unplug all that shit. Because there's nothing in there that's justifying me. Because if it was just a smidgen, if it was just enough of a mustard seed in there, I would have faith, or anyone would have had the power, not faith, but the power to change any damn thing and everything in that motherfucker. But no one changed it. You know what I'm saying? No one changed it. You know? Therefore, you must unplug completely. You can't think you're leaving the matrix with a plug stuck in your ass called astrology. Astrology. Astrology? Really? Talking about the planets. What planets? Oh, so you don't believe it's a holographic universe then? And if you do, then what the fuck you talking about? These are ways to chart the skies and all that type of stuff like that there. Okay. Reference points. That's it. Reference points. Reference points. Nevertheless, it's still in the box, man. It's still in the box. In the Quran, it stated that, and I'm going to look this up and catch it. You know what I'm saying? It said, in the Quran, in the Grand Al-Kitab, it says, and they knew it back there, and this was 1400 years after Brother Justice did his thing, according to the box. All right? Now, Jesus, right? Yeah. Anyway, 1400 years later, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam arrived on the scene in that box, and he, in the Quran, stated that I can't remember the total story, so don't beat me up on this right here, but try to see what I've seen. Now, in the Quran, you can turn to it if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm talking about, it says that some kind of way they maneuvered outside, and Allah was saying, no, not Allah. A group of people were saying, who hung the earth like that? Because they moved somehow. They had got outside of the atmosphere, and they looked back And their words in the Quran stated something to this effect. Who has hung the earth, suspended the earth by itself right there? Now you have Islamic scholars saying that the knowledge of the Quran is before its time. It could not have been done by any man, things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? But it spoke about a holographic universe right there without telling your ass it's holograph. Okay, because it said, who has hung the earth like that? Didn't say nothing about nothing else. You know, stars, no planets outside. Didn't say nothing about the sun. They said, who has hung the earth like that? Now, imagine, nation, imagine if you were to go outside of the universe, outside of this holographic ether, and turn around and look at it, you would only see the earth and its aura. You wouldn't see no stars. You would see dark shit. It'd be straight dark. You'd be like, what the fuck? Just like when they go out there, just don't be light like the sun's like jamming, shining out there. It's not shining out there. It's only shining in here. It's only shining on this earth, in this earth, right? Upon this earth. It is no sun out there. Check this out. And check this out. You know the thing that covers the earth? You know when the so-called space shuttle go through there, they gotta have those black tiles on there, heat resistance, right? Why is it hot getting out the earth? Why is it so hot? Why does the atmosphere hold heat? Nevertheless, something to think about. So if you was to turn around and look at the earth being outside of this, this holographic universe, and you look down and you would see nothing but black, just like the Quran stated. Who has hung the earth like that? That's nuts, right? Well, it was speaking about it then, 1400 years after Isa, Brother Justice, whom you call Jesus, alayhi salam, as they would say, right? So, these choices, what I'm talking about, you're making all the fucking wrong choices when you fuck with anything in that box. You are not leaving the matrix with a plug stuck in your ass telling you that you are whatever the fuck you think you are. You're not. You're not none of that shit. You are everything in that shit. Rise up out the box. Raise your frequency. We change our DNA by the knowledge that we obtain. You get more knowledge, you get more certified chemicals applied and supplied to your inner eye. You know, they say the genius molecule, right? What is that? Can't be nothing but melanin. I mean, well, I won't put a title on it. We just leave it as it can't be nothing but supreme power, supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom, whatever, okay? Now, if we were to look at this completely, we would quickly understand one thing. Okay, we will quickly understand one thing. It is not intelligent to take anything that they have said, anything that they have said, in the manner that we need to even follow it. So when a person comes up and say, well, let me go to this book, let me see this, let me see that, let me see this, and see right here it said, well, you can jam on that just a little bit. But to make a point, you fucking up. You're making a point to confuse your damn self, and then you think you're not confusing others. Fuck that shit, man. You don't need that shit. Just like I said before, you do not need that shit. You don't need that shit. Astrology has confused many. Astrology has fucked up everybody. For real, for real. You have to know your birth chart. You have to know this. Well, yeah. Well, from a hologram that we project. We knowing ourselves from what we project. We can do that. But not as if as it is. See, because as it is not what it is. Eye flip me, 180 degree difference. 180 degree difference. Inner eye always accepted that. And it maintains and sustains that type of functioning. These eyes are confused and they will lose. Okay? Get out the box. Get out the box. You cannot release yourself from the matrix by having a plug stuck in your ass, calling yourself Christian, Islam, Anunnaki, Inky, all these things you find in a box. See, outside that box is nothing, and that's what you must return to. Not meaning nothing, but the possibility of everything else. All and everything else. Think about it. Think about it. I just wanted to kick some little science, man. Just stuff to keep in mind and think about. Leave a comment, whatever. All right. I'm up.